know. I don't know. I'm just like glowing right now with this light. I don't know. My lighting is not the best situation. I'm trying. I probably should have got my whole look together before starting this, but whatever. Um, let's just swoop this here. I don't like how that looks. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to put it together. I'm like, what's it giving? Is it giving? I don't know. Because, I don't like how my hair be looking on this camera because, like, the light be shining through my noodles. And I'm just like, no, it's like more featheriness. You know what I mean? Like, it's not doing me justice. And plus, I just need to do my hair anyway. Um, all right, y'all. I got done preaching because, it wouldn't be me if I didn't have a testimony. You know, um, like, for those who don't know, like, all right, first of all, my name is Louise. I'm an artist, entrepreneur. I sing, write my music, I creative direct my visuals, I style myself, I, edit my visuals and all of this stuff, right? And what's the name? And like I'm very into like um I don't know, lately like I've been really big on like motivation and positivity and elevation and personal development and stuff like that. But like, I like to be a little goofy and have some fun too and be playing a little jams or whatever, but I'm very serious about my music and my work. I'm an independent artist. I run my own label. I own my own music and my masters, but the hackers of the world have found creative ways to still be exploitative, but whatever. Um, it don't matter. Whatever you throw my way, I'm gonna find a way through that shit anyway. So, I'm resilient as fuck. I go hard. I don't give up easily. And I don't care who is in front of me. I will stand my ground 10 toes down. Um, and respectfully. And, I've made a lot of mistakes in my past. Like, I've burnt a lot of bridges in relationships, dealt with a lot of this whole ordeal of a situation where a lot of people in my life, were acting one way, but was moving another way, and was gaslighting me and all this stuff. So I went through this whole like, mental breakdown and all this, or whatever the case may be. I don't know, some people might know about it, some people might not, but regardless, I refuse to let it break me down. And, because of that, I truly believe that my life can be something that can inspire other people to push through the hard times, especially through like mentally and spiritually abusive circumstances, or or any situation where you feel like your voice isn't being heard, or like you're not good enough, or you're just, you've made a mistake, or you had like a rough past, and that's all people try to label you for. And I just want to be an example and show people that like you can, you determine who you are, and you can determine, the narrative of your life as long as you keep leading it in the way that's in alignment with what you see yourself as or what you want to see yourself as. Um, and so, yeah, I do this art thing, and people, may say, self love is narcissistic, or they try to echo your, your swag, but it just can't be quite duplicated. But it's okay, But I try to live my life in a way where, if anybody's trying to echo anything, hopefully they echo love, they echo compassion and respect for one another. They echo believing in themselves. They echo not giving up. They echo standing their ground. They echo, pushing forward through the hard times. I hope that's what the people echo, and breaking curses, and using their voice how they so choose, and not letting anybody take the power of their voice away. Um, and just like hoping that my life is that by example. So, with that said, I already did my whole preaching thing, but this is just me introducing myself through my words on my platform. Um, and so, for those who might not have been following the journey, for the past week, I've been working on content for flash drives. Like I've been saying, I got the idea from Dawn Richard, who was on Danity Kane. Her name is not Dawn Richards. I know that's what people have been saying for years. It's Dawn Richard. That's how you pronounce it. Um, and so I saw her first do it with her Redemption album. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. She came out with a trilogy years ago, Gold Heart, Black Heart, Redemption, the Gold, Black, and Red albums. And with the Redemption album, she came out with the flash drives, with the video with VR Tech, and she made the flash drive into a necklace. Super dope. Check it out. I'm mad I didn't get it. Hopefully she got like some extras in the back that she could send your girl. Send me a little something. I'll pay extra, girl. Um, but yeah, so I got the idea from her. It's something I've been trying to do for years. Maybe there might have been like some I don't know, some hoodoo or voodoo to try to get me back into music, and I guess it worked. So, I mean, shout out to that, I guess. I'll take it if it works in my benefit. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I've been working on flash drives, and I've been trying to get the content together for it. So I'm like, okay, how do I make this a cool experience? And so, more than just like, okay, the music and the album cover. Like, I'm like, okay, I want to put lyrics on there. And then what else? And pictures, right, right. I was like, okay, lyrics and pictures. And then, as I've been working on it, it's just been snowballing into this like thing that's way more than I've initially planned it to be. So like, and then I was like, oh, I should do affirmations because that's my whole thing. Like, I'm really into like the motivational, positive empowerment thing, right? And and so I'm like, all right, let me do some affirmations. But I'm like, if I do affirmations, then it can't just be on a plain old document, like which no, like it has to give aesthetics. So I'm like, but I know my way around Canva, so let me design the page. So I put a whole design together. Like, if you go back through my live streams, you watch me do the whole process. I literally live stream the whole thing as I'm working on it. I screen share it. So you see me working on it in real time. You see me designing the documents. You see me designing. And then so I was like, all right, well, if I design a document for the affirmation, I have to design the documents for the lyrics. So I put, design the sheet for the lyrics, and I ended up putting it together as a lyric book. So there's a lyric book in there with all the lyrics because I write all my own songs. And I wrote all the songs on Divine. So Divine is my EP that came out forever and a year ago. But here we are still marketing this project because it just hasn't reached the sales that I want it to reach yet. And plus, I'm just like, slowly but surely working my way to get to a space where I can create art um, in a creatively safe environment. Just because like I'm living at home and I live with other people and stuff like that, and as a creative, you want to be able to express yourself and be able to focus on your work and just know that what you're putting out there is you know you're free and safe, with your creative expression. So, but in the meantime, I was like, all right, you know what? I should be trying to sell physical products. And so I've been working on these flash drives for the past few days. And then yesterday was the day where I finally finished everything that I was going to put in there. And then what's also really cool is that there's for the pictures, it's not just like a group of pictures that's going to be on there. Every flash drive is going to have different pictures. So it's not all going to be the same. Like the music and the lyric book is going to be on there. But all the pictures are going to be a little different. It's going to be a group of pictures on one flash drive. That's not going to be on the other. And the really fun thing about the pictures is that like they all have names with intention. So either the name is a reference to like a favorite artist or artist that it's inspired me or I respect, or a song or an album that that I like or have referenced. And then there's also like some are just like positive affirmations, or just like just words of encouragement. Some of them are biblical references because, like I said, I be in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Not the whole thing, but I really be in the Psalms and Proverbs. That's where I be at. That's where I reside. I'm gonna get to the other parts, but we gotta just get a few of the my main scriptures down pat. So anyway, But yeah, there's some like biblical references, and then there's also some like pop culture references, and then there's also some hints to future projects that I'm working on. So it's a really fun experience. I'm excited to see like people try to figure out what is what, and that's the thing. And then not only is it really cool, but I'm releasing limited edition ones. So we're starting out with value. Okay, so the color scheme of the Divine Project is purple and gold. And so I was initially looking for purple ones, and I even showed y'all last night, like I was looking on certain websites to order some custom ones in bulk. So like it has like Divine and all that stuff on it. But I'm still in the process of finding it and trying to get the right, um, the right amount of memory on there, the right design and all that. So, but in the meantime, I like picked up these. And at first I was like, I didn't want them like in different colors. So I got like a bunch of different colors, right? But I was like, you know what? That makes it cool though, because like I know I'm not going to get a bunch of colors forever. So whoever cops these, like these are like going to be very rare editions of this. Like it's a limited edition. I'm not going to do this often. There's only a few colors. So we got like orange, we got blue, we got purple, we got the pink, we got the green. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited about that. I've been putting so much work into this, like making sure that it was done right and making sure that it was perfect. I didn't want to just throw it together. I thought I was going to be able to do that. I was like, I know the pictures that I'm going to do. Like, I got the pictures saved and all that, just going to throw it on there. But then as I was like really curating this, and I was like, okay, what do I want this experience to be? I don't want it to just be like, okay, there's music on the flash drive. Like, okay, anybody could do that. But like, I really wanted it to be creative. I wanted there to be aesthetics with it, like especially the visual aspects in terms of the documents that's going to be on there. And then, with the photos, like, okay, I want it to be more than like, okay, you look at a photo one time, like, okay, this cute, it's a cute little pose, and keep it pushing. But like, I really wanted it to be a fun experience. So if anybody else do that, this was the first one. I'm often an originator and trendsetter in this planet, so I'm going to take my own credit and for that, and knowing that I hadn't really seen anybody do that. But you know what? I will give a little credit to Taylor Swift because I was watching this shady interview with her former manager on I believe it was like the Brand Network. Funny interview, but he dropped some gems in there. Because I am who I am, I can spot the gems in the midst of the shenanigans. And what he was saying about like he was her like manager when she was coming up, and what was cool about like the her fan base at that time when she was new is that you know she would do stuff like have like a lyric book, or maybe not like a lyric book, but like a thank you letter or something like that with her album. But like she'll spell out stuff on the sides. Like so it'll be like all these fun little elements that's kind of like insiders for the fans. And so like, they it's more than just the music, but it's the experience. Um so like shout out to Taylor Swift for that, despite you know, Karma's my jam though. It's a good song. Um but and Lavender Haze, that's cute. I started working on a cover of that, but whatever. Anyway, um, good idea though, and I think that was a great concept. Um, and so I was inspired by that. Um, making it an experience. So that's why it's more than just pictures on a flash drive. Like it's like it kind of gives people a chance to be like, okay, what does this title mean? And some of it might not even have a meaning. Like it's just like, you know, have a great day because I want you to have a great day for real. Um, and yeah, so I don't know. That's just kind of like what I've been working on for the past few days, and I finally completed organizing all the content that's going to go on there. So now today's the day. Today's the moment where we, um, start putting stuff on the flash drives. And so, the whole idea about it having different pictures, I'm like, that's pretty much the only um, challenge that I have right now. just because I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I don't put like the same pictures on there. But whatever. Like, I think I'm just going to like go with the flow and just let it, do be random. And I'm gonna bring you guys along the journey with me, and y'all are going to, um, you know, be a part of me putting these flash drives together. So I don't know. I think Angie's on guard watching out of the flash drive. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. That's the last thing we do today. Um, what do you call it? Where is my? There is a writing implement somewhere around these parts. Give me a moment, so y'all. All right. So I have different colors, like I said before, and and that also adds the value. And then not only that, but like I sign all of them too. So you know, it has my signature on it. Before I'll get to a point where I'll have it custom printed. So like this collection is very limited edition. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be doing this often. So like, while you can scoop some of these up, I suggest you do, because who knows how much it's gonna be worth in a few years. Um, so you gotta just keep that in mind. Okay, so what I wanted to do. All right, so I think I know how I'm gonna do this in a way where. Mm, no, y'all, it is pumpkin spice season, and I'm like, I don't know, when it comes to fall, like, I mean, I know we're not technically there yet, but like autumn is creeping around, and it's like slowly but surely starting to get a little chilly out, and I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it at all. Um, I think I like the aesthetic of fall. I just don't like being outside. I don't like the cold, the chilly weather. Like, I just don't. But I love the leaves. Like, the leaves are so pretty when they change colors. Like, I feel like the decor around fall is cool. Until like we get into like Halloween. It's funny. Like, I mean, I'm all kind of here for like the witchy aesthetic a little bit, but like, I don't know. I really favor like the leaves and that whole like decor look, um more than that. And then like like the holidays. Like, I just feel like fall into like winter, just like the decorations are a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, mm, look at the leaves, look at the leaves, look at the colors. You know, it makes me think of like when I was working at AC Moore, and you know, it was an interesting experience. But like, they just, they had so much like decorations and like all these like arts and crafts stuff. Like, it's an arts and crafts store, but it was cool to see like the stuff, because I think I started working there in September. So it was like all the fall stuff, like the summer stuff was going out, and then fall things were there, and then like when we would get like the Christmas shipment, and then they would have like their seasonal corner of like what was popular that season. And so it was interesting. Okay, that's the one thing about this computer, is that it was really fucking slow. Um, okay, so I think how I'm gonna approach this is that I think I'm going to try to like pick out the pictures first. I was gonna kind of try to do it random, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so right now I have like one, two, three, four, five flash drives. I mean, I have more, but like for now. And then also like I'm gonna have them in like these really cute holographic like weed bags. They're not weed bags, but I'm saying that as a joke. Um, like they change like they're like iridescent holographic silk. I think that's what I called that visual. I was trying to find a name for it. I think it was like iridescent lace and holographic silk. Actually, no, I feel like that might not be true. I don't know. I gotta look at it. I know I did like two visual projects, kind of like that, where I used like a holographic border. And that was kind of like the inspiration. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. So I kind of had in mind like how many pictures from each shoot I was gonna do. Because I was like, at first I was just gonna do like 7 pictures, but then when I thought to have the pictures from the Divine Merch campaign on there, because I was like, yo, I really like those pictures. Like, I had a lot of fun doing that photo shoot, and Lord, it took me forever to edit the video because I had like a lot of technical stuff going on. But like, I was like, I edit this photo shoot. Like, and the whole thing, the whole like intention behind it was to like show the different versions of me and just also let people know like people out in the world like who are um, you know, just trying to find their way or they might feel like rebels or there's more you're like multi-dimensional people like there's space out here for you because like I get that there's part of me that feels like a rock star, there's part of me that feels like very like butch queen sometimes there's parts of me that's like very femme, there's parts of me that will re-rock like reimagine a piece like I had an oversized hoodie from when we did the Just Wanna video that I got for my choreographer and dance partner Byron at the time. And so I had that hoodie just so I can, take pictures and stuff like that for the website. And then, it was so oversized on me. I was like, what if I rock it like a dress? And so, like, like there's parts of me that gets like really innovative and just like creative with pieces and just rethink them in different ways. Like something that normally like a guy would probably wear, like re-rock it in a way that like, fits my style. So like, people who are like that and who are like creative in that way, or maybe be different in that way, or like a little bit of a rebel, like all of that is divine, and that's pretty much like the message of that campaign. It was like, look, for one, like I'm multidimensional, and but I also wanted to show like the different types of people who can rock this and how they can rock it, and also in a way where it's like it's inclusive to like different people's aesthetic and their dreams and their talents and all of those different things, and knowing that like I'm creating a world for those people. I'm creating the world for like kids like me, because I know I'm not the only one in the world that's ever felt that way or felt ostracized or felt like an outsider or like a black sheep or whatever the case may be. Um, and I know, like I mentioned this in another live stream, but I'll say it again. just in case this is something that somebody watches for the first time. Um, there's many times where I felt like I had to fit into other people's worlds. Like I would relate to other people and I would find similarities to other people, but I wouldn't really know what my world looked like. I didn't know, like I knew the things that I was interested in, but I usually would keep it to myself or try to. And I felt like people really wouldn't relate with the real me. So like I can be like a chameleon that can like fit into other people's worlds, and because I'm so like my style and just like the things that I'm into is so versatile, I can like if you're into rock music, oh I like rock music too, but I'm also into like old school R&B music. Oh like oh you old head and you like that music, me too. You know what I'm saying? Or or say like or you're really into like space and astronomy, like the scientific aspect, me too. Or you're really into like astrology with like zodiacs and all that, so am I. Like, like all of those things are parts of me. And, I've for a long time found ways to try to like connect with other people's worlds. And, by like slicing up and compartmentalizing my interests. But really, I'm like, all of that represents me, and I know there's so many different things that make up who I am and what I'm interested in and what I do and what I represent, and how I see myself. And all of that can be true, all of that can shine at the same time, all of that can coexist in one, really. And, maybe instead of trying so hard to fit in with other people, just be okay with standing out and standing out in a way where I'm being true to myself and I'm not scared to live in my own world, and create my own world and know that like it's okay for other people to be a part of it, but respectfully. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Um, but yeah, that was the whole concept of the Divine merch campaign. And so my point in saying that is that like, I was gonna have like I'm gonna have different pictures from each photo shoot. And and I have like and that's kind of like the theme for like two of my photo shoots. Like there's another photo shoot that I included, even though it might not have like been with any particular visual from the EP, but I took those pictures around that era. And like the whole purpose of that shoot was for me to kind of like show like my like masculine side as well as my feminine side, and knowing that there's duality, and we all have it. The duality to both kind of like the universal law of gender, um, and just showing that and knowing that there's parts of you, if you see yourself as royalty, and you have respect for yourself, and you see yourself as someone that is, you see more for yourself, not in like a cocky way, but in a way where it's like, I don't want to think limited of myself. I want to think high of myself, while I'm here on the planet. And, I can see the king in me as well as the queen. And, both can be true in one and the same. And shout out to Lazarus. Um, I can be both in the same. I hope that's the words. But yeah, by Dawn. But you know, both can coexist and shine. Like sometimes we have to tap into our masculine when I'm doing this work and working on the like not necessarily like the creative aspect is more of my feminine, but me like doing the organization, making sure all the files is right, make sure it's backed up, make sure, that everything's labeled correctly. Like, the business work side of it is like me tapping into my masculine. And then, the creative side is like going through the pictures, being intentional about the pictures that, I'm including, designing the documents. Like that's me tapping into my feminine. And, having the duality of both, like, that was kind of like the idea of that photo shoot, which I labeled it like both sides. And kind of like a reference to that Frank Ocean song, like see both sides, like, like, the logo, how it's like the two C's, like front back. And so that was kind of like a reference to that. So, there's me giving the reference away. But but yeah, so um anyway, my idea of how I'm gonna do this, so I just make sure that I don't repeat pictures. I think I'm just gonna like write it out, honestly. honestly, honestly, I'm trying to say, oh yes. Shout out to Summer Walker. I don't really listen to her like that, but I like her. I think she's really dope, and I want to see her play guitar more. But what do I know? I'm sure people want to see me play guitar more, and I'm like, you can get this guitar when I play it. So so I understand. Like if she don't, mm, okay. I can be both in the same. That's all. That's all. I didn't change, I became. Hello. I'm like, talk about lyrics, baby. That's all. That's all. Honestly, no, actually, I think I'm just gonna do this randomly. Yeah, I think that makes it more fun. But I don't want to think too hard about it because I already thought too hard about planning this whole thing to begin with, and I think I should just let this be easy and just let y'all, it'll be random, but I'll just let God guide me, and then you know, I'll let God guide me through the process. But okay, so here's the thing, I kind of want to be intentional about the time that I put these files on here. So when y'all see it, y'all don't get too personal because it is 12 o'clock. And somebody will be like, "Oh my God, she put the foul in here at 12:56. She's trying to curse me." It's like, nah, I literally was just trying to get it done. Just trying to, but you gotta be scared of the clock now. So okay, hold on. Um, I can be both in the same. I didn't change up the day. That's all. That's all. Okay, so I'm like, okay, if I do that, then I should probably like wait. I just don't feel like doing all that. All right, hold on. Let me just see something real quick. But I just really want to get this done. I really just want to finish this. Okay. I didn't change everything. That's all. That's all. Oh. Okay, contact. Okay, I don't know what this message is. I feel like this person came up here before, but you came earlier this time, so I'll give you that. 'Cause I know some of y'all just like to join the live when I'm about to get off or when it's late, and I'm like, this ain't that kind of live, honey. Go to OnlyFans for that. But I'm like, I'm working. I am working on here. I'm like, we got planners, notebooks, and hard drives. Like, look. This is work. Now get this working on my shit. I know some of y'all like to like go in on Iggy, but I'm not gonna lie. You know, Iggy got some bops. And I'm not just talking about like the popular ones like Fancy and all of that. You know, because I mean, let's be real. She was signed to Ti at one point, so like there was at some point a part of the journey where he believed in her. And now that I feel like it's popular to like shit on her because she's like the white rapper, whatever the case may be. But you know what? Like some of her earlier stuff, she actually had some good songs. I know nobody want to say that, but I'm gonna say that because I remember there was a point in high school where me and some of my friends and we were kind of like getting into Iggy, and we were like, "Yo, you should listen to this song." And so we were like sharing some of her songs together. And I'm like, "Yo, she actually kind of spitting for real." But you know, people don't want to say that. I know it's popular to like shit on Iggy and be like, "Oh, she's a white rapper," or whatever. You know, they try to like meme her. But you know, she her early stuff. I mean, I can't say for whatever music she's been coming out now just because I haven't been following it. But like I know, like when she was putting out mixtapes, you know, I feel like you know she actually had some dope stuff. And not only that, but just like her story, like you know, the song "Work," which I was just referencing. You know, she's talking about you know being a kid in Australia, coming to the USA by herself at like 16, and you know the shit she had to do. I'm like, yo, she got a story. You know, so shout out to Iggy. You know, they probably gonna cancel me off of that alone, but I ain't. Think I'm scared at this point. Please, working on my shit. Now get this work. And like I said, even though you know Ti tried to play her and be like, "Oh, that was the biggest blunder of his career," but she had hits though, and like you signed her because you believe in her. And like the only thing is because it's not popular to believe in her anymore. Now it's like, oh, that was a blunder. Like, don't do that to her. Like, you know, that's not right. Now, it'd be different if it was like personal, whatever the case may be. But like, you know, I think because it was popular to like shit on her, that's why he, you know, switched up the tune. And I'm like, Mr. Expeditious, come on now. Like, you believed in her at one point. Like, don't let mainstream, you know, make you feel like, um, you know, different. Back to my Beyonce. Well, you know, this movie looked really good. The Thousand and One with Tiana. I haven't seen it, but it looks good. Mm. Okay, this is a distraction. Okay, so you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Just because I am intentional about like angel numbers, you know, and I know people take things personally these days just for the sake of people's sensitivities. Um, I am going to end this live. But you know, I feel like it was insightful. It's just kind of like an overview of what I've been working on. You know, mixed in with a little positivity. Um, and I'm gonna come back in like maybe like a half hour or so and start doing these flash drives. So, you know, get your popcorn um, and your snacks ready. It shouldn't take long though. I pray that it's not going to take long. But actually, I'm just going to hold space for however long it takes because I don't want to say one thing and then, you know, because just like I didn't expect this process to be as long as it was. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to give it to God at this point and just hold space for however long it takes. But I really hope it doesn't take long. Um, so, with that said, I'll be back. I'll be back in a little bit. And you know what? I just I'll probably get a snack myself. You know, see what chess game I got to deal with today. All right, y'all. I'll be back in a little bit.